Adam Armstrong. And it's a big talking point, isn't it? And it will split opinion and it will divide opinion. Adam Armstrong joining West Bromwich Albion. He gets to go and link up with a man that he knows very well. But the club's website said Adam Armstrong completed a loan move to West Bromwich Albion for the remainder of the season. The Saints striker joins the Championship club, who are currently 6th in the table, for the final months of the 24-25 campaign. I think he's going to do great there as well. He will go there and he will score goals. There's no doubt about that. He links up with Tony Mowbray, who he knows well from his time at Blackburn Rovers. And funnily enough, Tony Mowbray's brother works at Southampton Football Club as well. Darren works at Southampton, and if he is solely responsible for the recruitment at Southampton Football Club, he probably does need the sack, in my opinion. He has not done a very good job at all. Whether he's solely responsible for it, I don't know. I don't have any inside sources, but look, he's had a really poor time with the recruitment at Southampton Football Club, and we will go back to the summer at the back end of this podcast, but I'm going to focus upon Adam Armstrong leaving the football club. And it does divide opinion, because a lot of people feel they would have liked him to stay and be with us next season, which he could well do, come back and play for us next season. I have a big question mark whether he have the hunger to come back and do it next season. Will he have the belly and the stomach to come back and do it again? He was unbelievable last season. 24 goals he scored, and I haven't got the goal contribution stats in front of me, but it was ridiculous. He was the standout performer for Saints. He picked up every award, Player of the Year for the Players' Player, Fans' Player of the Year. He scored the winning goal against Leeds United and give us, without doubt, the best day as a Southampton fan in my life. That day at Wembley was the third best day of my life. My 2 daughters being born and Saints winning at Wembley. It was unbelievable, and I got goosebumps when I watched back that goal on X today, because it popped up on my social media feed and it still gives me goosebumps. The commentator, I think, is brilliant, this guy who does those championship games, and the way Armstrong took the goal, I love him for what he did. I think he's a great guy, and I had the pleasure of meeting him at the Puma event early on this year, early on this season, and he turned around and looked at me and said in his Geordie accent, "It's football, Martin," and I loved it. And we had a little chat and we spoke about that day, and we spoke about being the best days of our lives other than our kids being born. And it was said it was the same for him. It was magical what he did. But in the Premier League, he has struggled. Let's be honest. He's not scored enough goals. 73 games he's played for Southampton. So 73 games he's played for Southampton in the Premier League, and he scored 6 goals. It's not enough. Unfortunately, that is just... It's just not at that level. As a forward striker, you have to score more than that, unfortunately, and it's just not worked out for him in the Premier League. I feel sad to see him go, but is it going to be a major miss? It's not. It wouldn't have scored loads of goals, but he's a good squad player. But if you look at his Premier League history and you go back to 2013-14 was his first season in the Prem. That was with Newcastle. Played 4 games, scored no goals. 14-15 season, he played 11. 10 of those were as a substitute. He scored none. In the next season, he didn't play any part at all, so he must have been out on loan. I don't know where he was those seasons, but he was registered as a Newcastle Premier League player, but didn't make any appearances. Then in the 2021-22 season, when Hassan Hootel signed him, he played 23 games, 6 as a sub, scored 2. In the 22-23 season, he scored, the season we got relegated, he played 30 games. 6 of those were from the bench and scored 2 goals. So he scored 4 in those 2 seasons before we got relegated. And then this season, he's just got the 2 again. He's played 20 games, 5 of those being as a substitute. So his Premier League record isn't great at all. Let's be honest, it's not a world beater by any stretch of the imagination. And during his time with Southampton, he's had 6 assists. He's had 6 assists in the Premier League. So not the greatest return. Give me your thoughts about it in the comments box below. But I think the interesting point from this is what it leaves us with number 9s. Would you call Armour a number 9? Because I wouldn't. But when you look at strikers, it leaves us with Tulpaul and Atchu, Cameron Archer, who stayed, who could have gone to Leeds. It was a lot of talk. He was going to Leeds. He didn't go. We've kept him, and I'm glad we've kept him. And Ross Stewart is injured. So we've only got 2 9s when you look at that, which is alarming. So you're going to end up seeing Mateus Fernandes play as a false 9 a bit, because he's done that a couple of times already this season, as even Juric. We're short up front,